friends, welcome to the introduction of my 1 week 1 palette series. So I'm starting off the series with the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. In this series I will be doing 5 days of looks from one palette that's usually a pretty popular one that a lot of people have, and this week I've decided to do the Urban Decay Naked Heat. I hope to do more of these videos, so the format will be 5 days of looks, different looks, and I'll try to use most shades in the palette to get a good feel myself for how I like it. The palettes will be chosen mostly from my No Pan Left Behind challenge, so a shameless plug, I'm also doing a No Pan Left Behind challenge on my channel, so that's where I randomly pick the palettes I'll be using for the week, and I'll pick 1 or 2 palettes from that challenge to use on camera for the week, day 1 to 5. So today I'm introducing my first look. I will be using these 4 eye brushes usually. Sorry, they're dirty, but I will wipe them off before I use them. So, oh my gosh. I'll use the fluffy brush for a lot of crease work and blending, this crease brush for more detailed work, and then this one for the outer corners, and this one for very close to the eyelash line. So let's get started. So I think I will start most looks this way, but I'll start with the highlight shade, which is called Ounce, and then followed by Chaser to define the crease. This is a cooler toned crease color, which I like. So there's a cool and a warm. So if you can see, there's a cool color, or this is the cool color, and then this one is definitely the warm color for the crease. Although this is almost too light to be a crease color, so I'm just trying to make it work. I'm trying to not do too dramatic of an eye today, but we'll see what happens. So there, my eyes kind of prepped for anything I'd like to do. I'm gonna go in with the umber shade, but I'll stay close to the lash line to make it not too dramatic, as I put an almost black eyeshadow on my lid. Oh, so I take that all back. I guess this will be a smoky look after all. So there is that. This is actually a pretty shade. It's kind of a dark red in a black base. Very pretty. I forgot how much fallout Urban Decay shadows can have, so there's a lot of fallout here, which I will clean up later. But I'm going to, so that was the shade Umber. I'm going to use the shade, let's say, which one? Ashes, to kind of blend it out just a little bit with the rest of the lid, like this. Like that. And then I'm going to warm it up a little bit with this shade Sauced. Yeah, just a little. Wow, these are really pigmented. I don't remember it being this pigmented. That's the beauty of No Pan Left Behind. You're forced to use every eyeshadow you have in your collection. Whew, that's a little more dramatic than I thought it would be. So I'm wiping off my brush, and I'm going to use this Chaser color to hopefully tone it down a little bit. Blend it out over here and up here. So I'm going to clean up and put a shade under and be right back. Use the shade Umber in my lower lash line to finish off the look with mascara, and I really like it. It's a darker, smokier look to start the week with, but I'm glad I managed to use the lightest 3 shades and then the darkest 2 shades in the palette to create this look. I love it. I forgot how much I enjoyed Urban Decay's original formula. They're more traditional but very easy to blend, and sometimes we forget these palettes sort of, you know, in the allure of Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, all the bling bling shades, but there's definitely a place for, you know, Urban Decay, their original formula. I really feel very comfortable using it, and it's kind of like almost nostalgic. So I really enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the other days. See you soon. Today is day 2 of my 1 week 1 palette using the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. So today I'm just going to do a neutral, very neutral, easy look. I'm just going for a play date with my kids, so I don't want to be all glittered up. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So I'm going to take the lightest shade and do a very light highlight on my brow bone. And then just go down the line. So that was Ounce, and now it's Chaser. I'm gonna put that all over the lid just to start to warm up my crease. I'm gonna do a neutral look, so I think I will go with maybe Lumbra. I don't know, Lumbra I think it's called. And I'm gonna do a soft all over the lid, although this is very pink. It's a lot pinker than I thought it was. To define the outer corner with Ashes, it's a dark brown, and hopefully that will mute it up a little, although this look is getting a little too smoky than what I intended, but pretty good. So I'm going to warm up the crease just a little bit more with a Low Blow. It's a darker crease color, just to connect the lid to the rest of the eye. There we are. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I will do my mascara and under eye liner and then be back. So here's the finished look. I used Ashes again, this darker brown, to finish the lower lash line, and don't mind my eye bags. I'm so sleep deprived, but yeah, it's a little bit smokier than I had wanted it to be, but it's still a nice neutral look. I think I loved it. It was so easy to use and blend. You saw I mean, it took no time at all, and I tightened up the crease just a little bit more because I have hooded eyes, so I always need more crease color on top of my crease, above my crease, and that often results in a smokier look. So my day look is often a big smoky eye for someone else, but that's just how it is. So for me, this is a very light daily look. So here it is. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon in day 3 of 1 week. So I'm going to start with the light shade. I think pretty much always. It's a really nice kind of slightly shimmery, but not over the top shimmery shade. I really like it. Yeah, it's really pretty. And then I think I'm gonna put it on my inner corners as well. Sometimes I forget to do that, and it just really brightens up the eye area, and especially now I really need some brightening for how sick I feel. There, just very subtle. Okay, so that was the first shade. This shade again, so that was called Ounce, and then this one's Chaser. So Chaser for a mid-tone. Again, I love this shade. It's such a nice sort of nothing shade, like skin tone shade for me, of course. I know it wouldn't work for darker skin tones, but for me it blanks out the lid really nicely, and it just adds a touch of depth, a teeny tiny touch. So I love this shade, and once again, if I hadn't done this exercise, I wouldn't have known how much I liked it. So this one is called Sauced, and it's a bit warmer. I haven't used this shade yet in my previous 2 looks, so I thought I would do this one. These shadows are surprisingly easy to blend. Look at that, I barely moved my brush, and it's just blending out perfectly. I'm really very surprised at the quality. I had a much lower expectation of this palette, and now, of course, I had used it a few times here and there, but not in an intentional way. I didn't focus on trying to evaluate the palette. So I'm going to take the shade at the very end here. It's called Umber, and I'm tapping it off really well because the one thing is that the darker shades in most Urban Decay palettes that I have that are in the Naked range, they have a lot of fallout. Yeah, see, there's already fallout there. I put a little bit of powder, but I don't know if it'll catch it all. Anyway, I'll clean that up later. That's my only gripe with this palette. I hate fallout. It's like my nemesis. I really hate it. So I just blended out the darker color of Umber with Sauced a little bit more on my crease line, and now I'm using the Nothing Color Chaser again to blend everything out. Such a handy color. There you go. This one to make it a little bit redder and warmer as well, since I'm going for warm and smoky, maybe a little reddish, just to really go with that impactful wintry look. So I used this brush and I put some more on Fuego on the lower lash line, and then I added mascara. I do enjoy the final look, so this is more of a dramatic look with this palette, and I love it. Yeah, I really like the red. I'm surprised I like the red so much. I thought it might make me look sicker, but I don't mind it. I'm probably gonna blend it a little bit more off camera, but anyway. So that's my day 3 with the Urban Decay Naked Heat of 1 Week 1 palette. So I still haven't used these 4 shades yet, so I'm going to focus my efforts around those. They are all medium tones though, so I think I'll use 2 of them. So I'll start with Cayenne here, this dark orange, and I'm gonna put it very close to the lash line first just because it's so dark. Oh yeah, it's very dark, but it's easy to blend out, so that's good. I've blended it out on both sides now. Cayenne, and then I'm going to use the shade Chaser like I always do for the mid crease. Scorched, so Scorched is this one here, and I'm just going to use my fingers. Wow, that one's got some impact. I find that the Naked eyeshadows are quite neutral per their name, so I'm always surprised when I see something a little bit more impactful, which is nice. I'm going to ground the look a bit with one of the darker colors here. I think Ashes, just on the outer V, to smoke it out a little bit. You guys know me and my smoky eyes. I really need those to recede my hood, the hood of my eyes. I've put Scorched underneath the lash line as well, and then smoked out the corners with that darker color, Ashes. So now I'm going to just finish all the blending because it's all about the blending, no harsh lines. And I'm using Chaser again. I really think that's probably my favorite shade in the palette. I might keep this palette just for that. I've been trying to debate if I want to keep this palette or not, because I do have similar colors in other palettes, but it's really growing on me. And then I'm going to use Sauced or maybe Low Blow, just to really get this smoked up a little bit in the corner, so it's not such a sharp transition. Every look with me turns into a smoky eye. I'm sorry. I actually feel more comfortable in a smoky eye than a naked eye, if that makes sense. Because I always need depth in my eyes, or in my eye looks. I really prefer it, for me personally. Whew, that's quite dramatic. I added some mascara and did some more blending, and this is the final look. I really like it. It's not very different from any of the past looks, unfortunately. It is a kind of a one-note palette, but I do love the very sort of earthy red tones that come out of it. Day 4. Day 5 and finale for Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I filmed the first 4 days in the wintertime, as you'll see in my edits when I'm posting this video, but I got too sick to continue, so I'm now filming this last day during this day for this palette. So this is my usage on it so far, just in the 5 days. I think there's already some dips and powdery kind of disturbance happening, which is super cool. So this is my my 1 week 1 palette, and I'm super excited to finish this project. Now today I'm just going to do also another light look, so let's get started. I'm going to use Ounce, and as always on the highlight, and then Chaser to smooth out the lids. So it's nice and prepped. And then there were a few shimmers here: 4. Lumber, Scorched, Dirty Talk, and Umber. I think I've used all of these, but maybe I haven't used Dirty Talk, because that sounds a little funny that I may remember laughing about. I'm not sure, but this is the reddest shimmer of the bunch. For sure. Look at that. It's an orange heat color. That is quite red. So watch me mute it down now. At least I hope I can. I'm going to use Low Blow here. This is the more cool out of the 2 crease colors. One is the Sauced is a little bit warmer, and Low Blow is a little bit cooler. So I'm going to try to cool down this red here. It's a little bit too red for me, obviously. And this brush, Low Blow, this brush may be too thick for my crease. Well, it is too thick for my crease, but all my crease brushes, large crease brushes, are not in the wash, but they're all too dirty to use. So let me try this one. Skinnier crease. There we go. Okay, so it's a little bit less crazy, but I would have to say that Dirty Talk, that is my probably least favorite shimmer in this palette. Much prefer the other 3 shimmers: Lumber, Scorched, and Umber. Yeah, it's just too red for me. This one is too jarring. I just don't feel like it's I mean, it's obviously not a natural color, but I'm really trying to cancel it out. So it's kind of good for you to see me struggle maybe with a color in this palette. I'm going to use Low Blow here. This is the more cool out of the 2 crease colors. One is the Sauced is a little bit warmer, and Low Blow is a little bit cooler. So I'm going to try to cool down this red here. It's a little bit too red for me. I don't want to mute it out completely, so I'm going to use Ashes on the corners of my eyes, just because I want to see what, you know, every look could look like with this palette. And you have to take the bad with the good, and this is I wouldn't say a bad one, but just a disappointing red color. I don't know. I don't love it. I do not love it, but I'm going to make it work, and I know that I won't use that color again when I do use this palette, which is kind of nice, I guess, to know what you like and don't like out of a palette. So that saved it a little bit, just grounds the color a little bit using Ashes. It's a dark brown, the darkest brown in the palette. I'm going to use Ashes on the corners of my eyes, just because I want to see what, you know, every look could look like with this palette. And you have to take the bad with the good, and this is I wouldn't say a bad one, but just a disappointing red color. I don't know. I don't love it. Just finishing off the look with Umber, this dark shimmer here. It's almost a black with red shimmer dispersed throughout. It has terrible fallout, but it is a nice basic black with some red shimmers. If you treat it right, it's not too bad. do like it. So this is the look. I'm going to add eyeliner and mascara, and I'll come back with my final thoughts. Finished look. I added eyeliner and mascara. I think it turned out okay. Once again, I just don't love the bright red. In conclusion, I really like this palette. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to declutter it. In fact, I was 90% sure I was going to declutter it at the end of this week. But after using it, I really like these 4 shades here. So this highlight, and then this shade, I never remember it, Chaser, and then Sauced and Low Blow. These are very easy to blend mattes that will complement any look. So I really enjoyed these. I liked all of these two, as well as the other shimmers. So the Scorched and Lumber, they were red without palbing in your face like the current one that's called Dirty Talk, and this is Scorched. So here they are. So this is Lumber, and this is what I just put on, Dirty Talk. You see how this is the reddest? This is the reddest one. Ooh, that's my camera playing tricks. And then this last one is the most pretty one, I think, Scorched, and it has the most shine as well. You'd think this one would be the reddest. It's actually got a pink leaning color to it. This is more pink leaning, but yeah, I do not like this. This is my least favorite shade in the palette, and I do like these two shimmers. I'm going to swatch them here, these shimmers, and I'm going to compare it to a different palette that I have. Sorry, my camera, well, not my camera, this is my iPhone. My iPhone is not the best for filming. Once my channel gets a bit bigger, I promise to get a proper camera for YouTube videos. But my channel is so small right now, it just doesn't warrant the expense yet. But anyway, so this is Scorched. Nope, this is Lumber, Dirty Talk, and Scorched. So this is my favorite shimmer. And then let me just swatch some of the red ones too. He Devil, Cayenne, and Fuego. So He Devil, so that's like a brick matte, Cayenne, and Fuego. So these are all reddish browns. I don't mind them because they're not super red, but oh my gosh, look how similar they are, eh? All three are so similar. That's why I don't have much of an opinion on them, because they're so similar looking. But yes, and another reason why I wanted to declutter the palette is because I have this one from Charlotte Tilbury called Stars in Your Eyes palette, and if anyone of you remember, this is a limited edition from maybe how many years ago? Oh my gosh, 2018. But but it still works really well. And there's a particular trio in here that I thought gives the exact same look as the other palette. So because as you can see, the other palette has it's pretty one note. Look at that. Look at this. Look how similar this is to these. I mean, you can get the exact same look, and this is exactly why and not to say exactly so many times, this is why I wanted to declutter this, because of this trio here. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually know just how similar this was. So there you go. If you have the Stars in Your Eyes palette or this one, you should probably not keep them both like I'm doing. But so here's the trio there against all of that. Yeah. So this palette can definitely replace this one just with the trio there. But once again, I'm keeping the palette because of the mattes, because I really enjoy these 4 mattes. And yes, they're basic. Yes, you can get them in any palette. But since I have it in this palette, I'm not just going to throw out this palette for no reason. And since it's so old, there's no point in me, well, I can't give it to anyone. It's not really hygienic anymore. So I'm just going to keep it for these mattes. I do like them, and I do like the shimmers. Like I said, I even like these dark colors. It's a basic palette, but it works, and it's one note, but I like the one note color and look that I get, other than this most recent look. And I'm going to keep it until basically it expires on its own. That's going to be my philosophy with most palettes that I like enough to keep, but not sort of want to get rid of per se. Like that, I really hate certain colors. Like this entire palette, I just hated one color. So I'm going to keep it If you enjoyed this, please let me know. Let me know if you've seen any other palettes in my collection that I've been using in my videos that you'd like me to do this project with. And I will see you in the comments. Thanks again. Bye.